One of the biggest challenges, and quite frankly, one of the most asked questions that I get from designers is about sourcing fabrics. It, it's a challenging thing for many fashion brands, especially if they're small, if they're starting, if you're not yet ready to commit to large amount of fabrics where you can go and create your own fabric. Because what happens in that space is that you need to find something that you can have access to every time you want to, and that it fits your business model, your price point, and your production needs. So here are three tips that can help you with that process and make that process easier and more beneficial. The first tip is have references. If possible, actual references. So either swatches of fabrications similar to what you're looking for, maybe garments that you like the fabrications of. So it could be something from your closet, it could be something that you bought in retail. As far as fabric swatches, one of the things that I recommend is go to retail fabric stores and get swatches for things that you like. So you can get swatches for color, you can get swatches for hand, you can get swatches for thickness, for anything that you like to have in your fabrics. If you can have actual references, so when you meet with a fabric agent, when you go and walk a fabric show, you have something to go back to. It will save you a tremendous amount of time, and it will make the process a lot easier for you. And quite frankly, for the person who's showing you the fabric. Because when you meet with a fabric person, they can show you an endless number of fabrics. And you can spend hours going through headers one after another, still not finding what you need, or more so, get so overwhelmed with things that it's going to be really hard to decide what you really like. But if you have something that you can show them and you can say, hey, this is the type of fabric that I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking to make out of it. I'm looking to make a legging. Looking to make a jacket out of it, a dress. I want it to flow. I want it to be structured. Whatever information you can provide them about the fabric, about what you intend to do with the fabric, is going to help them show you fabrics that are going to be relevant for you. So instead of showing you their whole collection, they might show you just this number of headers, which will make things a lot easier for you. The second tip is to understand your price point and understand your supply chain as well, and where your business is today. Because many times designers will go and look for the best fabric. Best fabric, the way they describe it, might be too high for your price point. It might not fit into your price point. So when you go and look for fabrics, you really want to understand how much can you invest in fabric. Because finding fabric that's out of your budget is not going to help you. Yet finding fabrics that fits into where you need to be with your budget will really help you stay on target. And many times that's one of the things that designers will look to get from a fabric mill. Get production prices first before they decide where they want to be. I say the opposite. I say think about your price point. Think about your retail price point and where you want to be with that. Work this backwards to figure out how much fabrics you need there, and therefore how much you can invest in fabric. By the way, this you should do regardless of the fabric. You should do this for your production prices in general. So for example, if I want to make this sweatshirt and I know that I want to sell it for $100, what I would do is I will work backwards and figure out how much can I invest in making this product in order to be profitable once I sell it for $100. And once I have that number, how much can I invest? Now I'll break it down into how much can I invest in fabric? How much can I invest in labor? How much can I invest in any other details? And that will help me source fabrics down the road, source materials, trims, or anything like that, but also source for factories. And the third tip about sourcing fabric is test the fabric before you commit to it. So when you meet with a fabric mill, you can ask for headers. By the way, just a side note, when you go into a fabric mill and you don't have really references to show them or to direct them as to what type of fabric you're looking for, and they start showing you all the fabrics, you'll get overwhelmed. And what will end up is that you start ordering headers, a lot of headers. And think about it from the perspective of the fabric mill, they'll send you these headers. But if you do this once, twice, and you're not going to end up working with that mill, they're going to lose trust in your business. They're going to lose trust in you. And next time, they're not going to be as responsive. Next time, they might not be as accommodating. So the point of really knowing what you're looking for and going to a fabric mill with that idea will help you not just finding the right fabric, but it will make you look like a pro, and they will take you a lot more seriously. As far as testing your fabric, like I said, you can order headers. So when you get the headers, work with them, test them. Obviously, you can't make a garment from them. But if you like it enough, then order a couple of yards of it. Then when you get that fabric, that sample yards, these few yards of fabric, first of all, do a test, shrink test. And for those of you who don't know how to do a shrink test, we have a blog post on our website that will show you exactly how to do the test. Do a shrink test to understand really if the fabric shrink, if it shrinks, how much it shrinks, because these things you'll have to keep in mind in your development and down the road when you go into production. But I would say more than that. Test the fabric in any way you can. In fact, abuse it. So if you use it to make one sample of that product that you want to make out of it, take that sample and abuse it. Wash it, throw it, really stretch it any way you can to really understand what are the limitation of this fabric. Because it's better for you to know about these things now before you commit to buy production fabric, where then it's going to be too late because the product is going to be made, it's going to be in your customer's hand, and they're going to find out about these limitations, and that's going to be on you. So, 3 tips for better fabric sourcing. 1, have references and know what you want. 2, know your price point. Understand how much you can invest in fabric. And 3, test the fabric, abuse the fabric before you commit to it.